as time flies by, you'll open up your eyes wide. You feel it's gonna go your way. Hey, hey, it's a brand new day. Hey, hey, hey.
Welcome back to Marbella Now. My name is Nicole King and I'm loving the festive decoration we've got here at the RTV Marbella studios. I'm also loving that Sorana has come back to chat with us again. She's from Biomagnetism in Marbella. Biomagnetism, fascinating subject, something that I've actually been to try myself. Initially, I went because I was getting all bloated stomach and I wasn't really eating, and if I did, I really didn't. It was not good. And I thought after I interviewed Sorana for the second time, well, maybe I should go and try it, and I'm delighted. Sorana, welcome back to the program.
Thank you, Nicole. So happy to be here again.
Oh, it's so nice. I went to your clinic the other day, and that was fabulous, and it was really nice to have a chat with you. But I think the more I talk with you, the more I realise I don't know. And I think the more detail other people would like to know, because you just talk about basic things, what we eat, how we eat it, how it affects us. And I love it when you say that our stomach is our second brain, because I do feel everything in my stomach. If I'm nervous, if I'm not sure about something, my brain might not know, but my stomach does. So what's all that about?
So yeah, imagine we have two brains. So why is our gut called the second brain? It's because it's actually a mass of neurotissue, and neurotissue equals brain tissue. And our gut has more than 100 million neurons. Actually, it has more neurons than our spinal cord. And what does it do? What does it do? Actually, our gut does not only take your egg sandwich or your tuna sandwich that you had before and transform it into poop. It does much more than that. It's in charge of our immunity, it's in charge of our moods, it's in charge of our all our health. And what it is actually, it's on the interior lining of our digestive system. It functions like a barrier in front of stressors. It's exactly like the skin is for our exterior. So this protects us, and it's very important, it's crucial to have a very healthy gut. So how can we have it healthy? How can we maintain our gut healthy? A lot of factors can actually disturb and harm our stomach and our gut. One of them is the 100 million toxins and things that are in our environment. And by the time that we are 20, we already had, I think, 20 rounds of antibiotics. This also can harm our interior gut, because antibiotic, anti, it's against, and bio means life, so it kills the bad bacteria that we have, but at the same time it kills the good ones. So it creates an imbalance. And of course, not only that, also the things that we eat. And the things that we eat nowadays, they are very toxic, because we are not eating actually very healthy food, but not all of us. We're eating a lot of things from containers, and the things that come in packaging, they contain a lot of conservants and things that they add in order to preserve the food well. So this all works like a toxin for us. So
would that include things that come in jars, like red peppers and tunas? You're talking all things that have packaged?
Yeah, actually, if you take a look at the label of one product, you will see a lot of components. Try to choose the products that have less components, because, for example, sugar, that's very toxic. I love sugar, and remember when you came to the clinic, opening my fridge, you already saw chocolate. So I'm sometimes not doing the things that we should. So sugar comes in another form. It's written in a lot of forms just to be hidden. They don't say sugar, but they say other things. So we don't know actually what it is. So trying to eat more simple foods and raw foods, you're sure that buying, I don't know, carrots, they are carrots and they are not a bunch of other things that can harm you. So try to eat more natural things and not like things that are in a packaging, in a plastic thing.
I think that's an interesting comment you said, that when you're looking at the contents, the least contents in each product is obviously a better sign.
Of course.
The more things it has, the more confusing and the more harm it could be doing.
So it's everything. We are much more than what we eat. And actually, we are used to think about food in terms of calories or nutrients. But food is much more than this. It has a lot, it provides you with information, and this information, it's sent to our brain and it's broken down, and our body knows how to do with it and where to send it in order to function well, in order for our immune system to start working and for all the healing processes to start working and to be good.
I understand that the senses and how it processes the food, kind of like the philosophy behind it, but I still find it confusing that the sensations we feel in our gut can be related to things that we should be doing or not doing, that intuition aspect of the stomach.
Of course, yeah.
The actual thinking part of the stomach. Does that get altered by the foods we eat? So if I drink lots of Coca-Cola, will that change how my gut reaction? Because we say I've got a gut feeling, a gut reaction.
Yeah, well, actually, I don't know because I drink Coke. And that's not good. That's a secret between us.
Between me and all the people who are watching the show.
Exactly. Well, of course, as I told you, this interior barrier that we have actually works like a GPS for everything. And when we feel something, you say, oh, I have things, I can feel it in my stomach. And that's because our stomach is related to our brain and it sends signal. And actually, first you feel it with your stomach and after that with your brain. And when all this microbiota that's in our stomach, it's unbalanced, we are not reacting good. And all the moods that we have are relating to our gut. Why? Because, for example, we have more than 30 neurotransmitters that are in our gut, the same that are in our brain. And did you know that more than 90% of the serotonin is produced in our gut? We were thinking until now that our brain is producing this neurotransmitter, but no, it's produced in our gut. And imagine if our gut is not functioning well, also these transmitters are not actually working as they should be. So it's very crucial and very important to maintain our gut healthy so we can respond to everything very well. Another very important issue is stress. People come at the clinic and say, I'm not stressed, or actually I was speaking with my husband and I was telling him, you have problems in your gut, but that's related to stress. And I said, well, I'm happy, I'm not stressed. But we don't realize that our 24/7 lifestyle that we have, it's very hectic. So nowadays we have to take care about what we eat, about not getting sick, about our kids, what we're preparing for dinner, if they made their homework or not. We need to work, we need to do a lot of things, and they're actually overwhelming. And it is functioning like a stressor over us. And we arrive at night home after a day long of work, and what do? We watch TV, we drink something, instead of relaxing and actually push that button, that pause button that we need to take a breath, to breathe in and to actually relax. So I'm all the time thinking, imagine Michael Jordan. What if he would train 24/7 and after that he will have to play a match? What would happen? He will just collapse. It's the same thing that it's happening to our body. We collapse, but actually during the routine we don't pay attention to that. So that affects our microbiome, and instead of maintaining a healthy lifestyle, we're stressing and stressing our body so it doesn't respond well. And instead of, we say that we are healthy because we are asymptomatic, but the lack of symptoms doesn't mean that you're healthy. And nowadays, the concept of healthiness is that your body is able to react and to adapt to certain situations very well. So that's health, to be able to adapt and to respond well in front of stress.
Stress, I think, is something that has always been an issue, and more so lately. I think the level of stress coming to the end of the year of those who've lost their jobs, worrying about losing their homes, don't know how to pay electricity, how to feed their children, let alone buy them Christmas presents. What is your recommendation? Because I see a lot of people, that feeling of running around like a chicken with its head cut off, which is a horrible analogy, but I kind of see it. People are really suffering. What is before we go to the break, would be your recommendation to how to, as quickly as possible, grab onto that level of stress and realize, okay, I'm stressing, nothing's going to be right if I keep looking at it from the same point of view, to bring oneself back in control? What are the first things to look at?
You know, as you said, stress is here, but actually it can't affect me if I don't let it. We have to think that in this present moment, nothing can affect us. Only we are our own enemy. So take a step back and try to meditate. Well, I'm all the time saying meditation, it's very important, but not all of us have the tools to meditate. It's only try to do a very easy exercise. When you wake up in the morning, just 5 minutes, put a clock on, and just repeat the words, relaxing, I'm relaxed, I'm relaxed, and repeat it 5 minutes, and just concentrate of those words. Actually, it has been clinical proven that it has a very good effect. It lowers down all those negative vibration and all those negative feelings that you have, and it helps your body relax and regain the tonus that it needs for the day. So starting your day like that, it's very important.
Perfect. We will be back with Sorana from Biomagnetism Marbella in just a moment. First, we're going to go over to some messages from our sponsor and also our Zero Hero partners. Don't go away.
When I'm the designated driver, I think it's only fair that I get to choose a Zero Hero venue that rewards me with free soft drinks. My friends all get to choose and booze, and they feel safe going home with me. Make sure that you get your reward for being the designated driver. Why pay if you don't have to?
Judy likes to consider herself a clever young woman, which is why she thought very carefully before choosing her insurance company. Now that she needs it, she's jolly glad she chose Linear Director, as it looks as if she might have something better to do. Why don't you be clever, like Judy? Call Linear Director on 952 14 78 34 and see which policy is best for you.
Zero Hero, welcome to the playwrights.
Hello guys, welcome to Harbor. All the designated drivers are welcome here to the Harbor. And we are very proud to be a Zero Hero partner.
GWine is happy to be Zero Hero partner.
Clara are proud to present Zero to Hero. Never drink and drive.
Yes, I mean, do you think that's
McNulty's is proud to be a Zero Hero partner.
Hi guys, Ross here from Hogan Stand. Proud to be a member of the Zero Hero campaign. And we recommend everybody, nobody drives drinking, everybody who drives a car doesn't have any alcohol in their system, and we're proud to sponsor the Zero Hero program.
our welcome Zero Heroes. Come and visit us for Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas.
If you've just tuned in, we're chatting with Sorana Filipescu. She has the biomagnetism clinic in Marbella in the Avenida Ricardo Soriano. I actually went to see Sorana after she'd been to the program a couple of times, and I thought she said a few things about bloated tummies, and I had one of those, and I thought, well, I'll go check it out, and I'm just delighted. In fact, Sorana, it got to the point where I would eat things. I wasn't really sure what I was eating, but I realized it didn't do me good. Then I remembered my mother would say, as she got older, oh, I mustn't eat this anymore. Oh, I mustn't eat that. And sometimes it could have been a tomato. And it was like, but you love tomato and cucumber sandwiches. And what does that come in? Is it an age thing? Is it, again, something because we're just not treating our bodies right in the build-up? What happens?
It has everything to do. Well, first, if you notice that you cannot eat certain foods that you were eating before without feeling bloated or without having this feeling of sometimes acidity or even being tired, it's because this interior barrier, our microbiota, it's not at the same level as it was before. And this was harmed or modified because we have the food that we eat, a lot of toxins, the stress that it's in our food, or the nutrients that we eat are not enough, or we are lacking of nutrients. So, for example, if our organism or our certain organs need some nutrients and we don't have them in our food, this organ starts being weak. And for example, the pancreas. Our pancreas is very important in providing some enzymes for digestion. And normally, when we are young and everything is functioning good, it's around 4 liters of enzymes that are like pushed in our gut in order to break down the food. But as we get older, and not older, as we gain age, and all this starts, this biosis, that means that it's a unbalancing in our gut that starts kicking in, our pancreas, instead of producing 4 liters, produces only 200 milligrams of that enzymes. So our food, what does it happen? It will stuck in our gut and will start fermentation. So that's why we need to pay attention to what we eat. In biomagnetism, that's why it's such an amazing technique. I can check and I can test you if there are some underlying problems like microbe-related issues, and if they are, that's also debilitating your gut. I can treat it by balancing out the pH of the certain organs, and like that it will regain the natural force to eliminate the pathogen that were creating the problem. That's one thing. And the other thing that it's very important is I'm working also with plants and herbs. That's called phytotherapy. And the plants, a lot of plants are in Spanish is adaptógenos, in English would be adaptogen, sorry about that. Adaptogen plants, what means an adaptogen plant? An adaptogen plant contains a series of complex compounds that will actually help your body to adjust and to adapt to stressful and stressors. For example, psychologically and physiological, we need to be balanced in order to function well. So these plants actually will help us to regain this balance. And as I'm working with those plants, if you come, you have a personal attention, and we are going to direct the treatment for your problem. But in general, I can suggest some plants that will actually help digestion and help not only digestion, the immunological system. One of those plants is curcuma. It's turmeric, curcuma. It's a root, and it's very important because it has actually a lot of clinical studies behind it that supports the fact that it has a very good influence in reducing inflammation, in muscle soreness, in anxieties, and also it's very good for our gut because actually it helps cleanse all those microbes from our gut and they cannot stick. So actually it washes down everything. So it's very important to have an intake of curcuma.
Would you put that in food or in a drink, or how would, or is it the pills?
Yeah, actually a lot of Spanish people use it. Oh, they tell me, oh, I'm eating curcuma, I'm putting it in the paella. But it's everything relies in the concentration, in the amount of the intake of curcuma. So it's not enough to sprinkle it over the food. We have to have a certain amount of curcuma taken in order to work. For example, we have to start from less to more. So we start like with 300, 400 milligrams. That comes in capsules. I suggest to take it like it's like the extract of the curcuma, and to start taking it, to start including it in our diet, so we have an extra help from our friendly herbs and plants.
And those, you can't overdose on them, you can't have too many, it's not going to overwhelm the system?
Well, of course. It's exactly, for example, vinegar. Vinegar, you put it in a salad and it doesn't do you any harm, but if you start drinking a liter of vinegar, it will create acidity and it will harm your stomach. So of course everything relied in the dosage. So if we're taking from, you have it in capsules, so you won't take the whole jar at once. You start taking 1 capsule a day as it's recommended, and you start building up your immune system and everything. So that's one of the important things for digestion. Another good thing, another good plant, for example, if you're feeling bloated and you have gases after you eat, licorice. Licorice, it's a very good plant and it has tons of properties. It helps with the mucus, it helps with your respiratory system, but a very important function is the gastrointestinal relief. So it aids your pancreas, it stimulates your pancreas in producing all the enzyme we need for the digestion. So drinking a tea of licorice after you eat, it will be a very good help for your...
I remember actually after I had my cesarean, when I had my babies in the hospital, they would bring aniseed tea,
yes.
I suppose, to help expel the gases.
The gases and the microbes that create all those fermentation. That's
so easy, accessible things that we perhaps even know about, we just forget that maybe we should just be doing them.
Exactly, everything is at our reach, but we forget about that. And sometimes we said, oh, well, I'm going to take a pill that's easier. But what a pill does, actually, it relieves the symptoms, but it doesn't cure the root cause. And the root cause might be for a microbe, but also might be because of a dysfunction of one of your organs. So by stimulating it, we recover our health. That's the secret.
It's amazing how when you do your treatments with the biomagnetism, it's such a different approach, the way you can tell what's going on in the body. It must have taken years of training. I mean, it's so perceptive and so precise.
Yeah, it's an amazing technique that I found, as I told you before, I found out as a patient, and that really, like, it clicked, and I said, if she could help me, I could help others. And actually, it's very, I have been studying years, and not only biomagnetism, I have been complementing my studies with also phytotherapy, nutrition, nutrigenetics, because everything, we're not treating our body from one point of view. We have to see it holistic. We have to see that everything is connected. Our brain is connected with our gut. Our gut is connected with our immune system. So we have to deal with everything at the same time in order to cure. But the most important and the most fun part in biomagnetism is that we don't have to take any pills. Everything, your body starts curing itself because we are giving it tools to actually access and to activate those healing mechanisms that are innate, that we have them in ourselves, but we forget about that.
It's amazing how you put the emphasis on the pH, but really saying, trying to always reach that balance, that there's not too acid, not too alkali. And every time you say it, I think about the swimming pool. It makes so much sense. over 80% of our bodies is made up of water.
Of water, yeah.
It's obviously very important that if we don't want the green slime growing on the pool, it must be similar, I suppose, inside our bodies when that pH is wrong. Not a pretty sight.
No, I don't want to think in terms of green stuff inside of my body, but actually it's like that. And we are more than 70% water. And actually, water has its own intelligence. There was I'm entering now in another theme, but it's very good to think about it and to look it up in Google. Masaru Emoto was...
I've written 3 columns on it because it is so important. Please, carry on.
Masaru Emoto was a scientist, is a scientist, a Japanese scientist, and he discovered actually that water can be altered by external factors. Actually, a bad feeling or a bad thought could alter the
molecular structure.
The molecular structure of water. Also, you read about it.
I read it. I absolutely find it fascinating.
They are teaching
In fact,
it
I went to
school.
the point of doing the experiment with the rice experiment. And the pictures are incredible.
Incredible.
The ignored rice is basically cloudy. The loved rice is perfect like it was. And the hated rice is moldy and black. And I really do invite you all to check up on this because, first of all, the photographs that he took of frozen crystallized water, when even the water, distilled water, just had the word hate written on it, when they magnified and photographed the crystals, they were hideous, brown blisters. And yet when they just put the word love, peace on the same things, the crystals were beautiful diamond shapes. Just by blessing something, the water changed from bad to good, which makes me think it's very important the words that we say about ourselves and our intentions towards ourselves, because we're made so much of water.
The words, the intention, the thoughts, everything is altering and interfering with our structure. So imagine if you have a bad thought, so you're waking up and sometimes you have problems with your, I don't know, husband, or you start fighting in the morning, all your day will be bad. But when you wake up, you start meditating, you think of something beautiful, you start blooming from inside, and good things start happening to you because you have a positive vibration and your vibration is high. Love, actually, it's a very high vibration, and you can see it. You can see it in persons. I can see it in your eyes. You're now blooming. You look good because you're full of good energies. So that's one of the secrets of good health. We have to stay positive. We have to think positive.
I agree 100%, which is why it's so nice to have people like you around you. We need to surround ourselves with competent, positive, happy, lovely people, of which, Sarana, you were definitely one. And I have to say, as Sarana said, she started the biomagnetism because she tried it on herself. I've been there. I'm really very impressed, as I say, from not daring to eat certain things because I'd be so scared of the results afterwards. I can eat anything now, and I want to, and I eat a lot more than I used to. But I'm still keeping my shape. So I have to say I'm very happy, very impressed, and we'll be going again. I invite you to do the same. Sarana will be joining us again on the program to give you more tips and insights of just how to make the most of yourself.
Well, I'm so happy to share with you all those ideas. Oh, can I tell you another secret?
Yes.
That I forgot to tell you. For example, if you want to choose, if you don't know if a food is good for you or not, there's a very simple test. A doctor, an immunologist, was actually treating its patient like that. For example, you're eating in the morning and you're not feeling well afterwards. It's very important to take your pulse in the morning. Every morning, make a, 1-week trial and take your pulse every morning. Our pulse has to be between 60 and 80. There is an average. So taking your pulse and before eating something and afterwards. If the pulse is varying more than 19 points, so if, for example, in the morning I was 70 and after eating my breakfast I'm 90, it's more than 19 points, that means that certain food that I had in breakfast, that can alter my digestive system and my body's now reacting. So just checking your pulse and checking these things, you can actually see what kind of food is actually damaging you and you can avoid it.
A very nice tip and a perfect one to end on. Thank you so much, Sarana.
You're welcome.
And thank you guys so much. We'll be back tomorrow with more of what's going on in Marbella Now. Take care of yourselves. Remember, you can follow the show on our website, also on Facebook and Instagram. Hasta mañana. Gracias.
We can change if we try.